Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. I am Rob the Lord Humongous. We are a member of the Pod Bros Network. Check out podbros.com to find some other podcasts you might enjoy. And don't forget to go to the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show at bigjujitsu.com. Buy a t-shirt, buy some patches. You might even find a gi. And also, if you want to support the podcast, click the Amazon banner at the top. Buy something you don't need or you do need. You won't pay anything extra, but it keeps the podcast on the air. Once again, I am Rob the Lord Humongous. And today, I also have my good friend Jonathan with me, and we have two special guests. We have Adam Marbuger and Josh Mckinney of Head Nod Squad. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing excellent.
Doing real good.
And Jonathan, I probably should have let you say something in there. So how are you doing today, Jonathan?
It's fine. I'm just a stain on the wall. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Oh, John's on this too? I had no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't
absolutely.
know we invited him.
I'm just holding the headpiece. That's it. I'm not really here. I'm just visiting.
Yeah, he's mainly just listening in. We don't have Matt with us today, so we can't treat anybody like trash. So Jonathan's next in line. It's just the way it goes.
Sweet. Good. That's what I had figured.
So, Adam and Josh, how about you? I'll ask Adam first since we got two people. It's been a while since we've had two guests on the show at once. So, Adam, how about you give us a little background on how you got started in jiu-jitsu, and then I'm going to ask both of you guys about Head Nod Squad.
Well, I started kickboxing. I started my martial arts career with kickboxing when I was in high school. My junior and senior year, I trained at a gym in Belleville, did a little kickboxing until I was about 19, and then I completely stopped until I was 22. I found a gym by the name of Pro Gym. Mike Griffin was the head coach. I walked in there, and my first day I was getting strangled by 130 and 40-pound guys. I was absolutely addicted. It was just no-gi at the time. I didn't actually put the gi on until about 10 years later, but I started no-gi back in 2002, and I've been absolutely addicted ever since.
Nice. So guess what, Josh? It's your turn. What do you got? How'd you
All
get
right.
started?
Well, actually, at about 14 years old, I was always the chubby kid in school, and my mom was like, "Hey, you need to do something. You need to quit playing video games and do something." I went to a real small private school, so they didn't offer any kind of sports or anything like that. So just kind of looking, my mom made me try this new gym. It was actually the Hit Squad. It was Hughes's gym, which got built in our town, and so she's like, "You're gonna try jiu-jitsu." Kyle was the coach there. I thought, you know what, I'll do this one day a week, so my mom will be happy. I went in the first class, and it was like I had found it. I went in the first class thinking one day a week, and I was like, "Mom, can you sign me up for this unlimited? I want to go. I want to do this," and I've been doing it every day since. Since then, I've competed a bunch, won a bunch. Actually, 3 months ago, my dad's been doing it with me. 3 months ago, my dad and I just opened up our own gym.
Wow, that's really awesome, actually.
It's
so going from man, I really don't want to do this to straight in. Now you got your own gym with your dad is a hell of a jump, and that's awesome.
And it was very just a blessing for me, man. I was really nervous. I didn't want to do it at all. And, I remember going in the first class, Kyle teaching me the triangle to the arm bar, and, just thinking, this is freaking awesome. I just love this, man. And, it really was like that moment of, man, I could do this forever. This is so much fun to me. And then my dad was sitting on the sides watching, and he had a hernia at the time. And he's like, as soon as I get my surgery done, I'm coming in. I want to do this too. This looks awesome. So it was really fun, man.
Now your dad's a brown belt, correct? And you're a 4-stripe purple, correct?
Yes, sir. He is. He's always been a little bit ahead of me, and he likes to remind me.
And have you been anywhere else other than Kyle Watson's gym? Have you went anywhere?
I've been under Kyle through and through. He ended up, the Hit Squad got bought out. He ended up moving his gym to open up his own school. There was no second thought of let's train close to my house still. It was, we're staying under Kyle. If you've met Kyle, that you would be like, oh man, there's no way that I would go under anybody else. Just a genuinely good guy.
Yes.
Yeah, loyalty is like a huge deal if you're able to keep that loyalty, especially for somebody that you enjoy training under and who has that technique. So
yes, exactly. And it's just, like I said, it's just a blessing, man. I hear a lot of stories about, people with disagreements with their coach and whatever. The only disagreement that me and Kyle ever have is who has better hair, and obviously I win, so it's like,
yeah, certainly. He had a better mustache though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can grow about 3 facial hairs and can cut them with scissors. It's not a big deal, but yeah, that's not much to beat me on.
I would say, jiu-jitsu and hair kind of go hand in hand. There's a lot of good hairstyles in jiu-jitsu. Notice that.
Hey,
there is.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm lacking in the hair department.
Yes, I was aware. And the thing isn't about like who has the best hair when the match starts. It's about who has the best hair when the match is complete. One time I had like 5 fights at the Chicago Open. I win my division, and like a few weeks later, Kyle gets a like some type of package with a bunch of patches from somebody. The caption of the package was like, "Hey, can you give these to the purple belt whose hair didn't move the entire time at the Chicago Open?"
Nice.
I remember that tournament. Oh.
Damn, that's one way to promote it, I suppose.
All right. So head nod. What brought it up? I know that head nod squad is based off of, I'll just let you tell it. Adam, you just tell me what you got. What brought it on and what?
It started out, there's a core group of us that we compete a lot. We travel, we go to the Pans, we go to the Worlds, we go to the Nogi Worlds. We're down in Dallas, Houston, we travel. And, it started out with, making little funny social media videos like on Snapchat, Instagram, just head nodding. And then we started forming this little crew, and we were known as the Head Nod Squad. And, we figured, we created a massive buzz on social media, and a lot of people just would reach out to us and, what is this? What is it you do? We want to be a part of it. Me and Josh have always, thought about doing some business together, and that we just decided, why not form this company? And I've been training and sponsoring and managing MMA fighters for a very long time. So why not manage, sponsor, and help jiu-jitsu practitioners, up-and-coming jiu-jitsu practitioners, not just the black belts, but the up-and-comers, and along with the MMA guys, and we'll sponsor them. We can manage them, lead them, and then we also, the biggest key to this is, let's give back. We're big into funding cancer research. Me and my wife just raised a bunch of money for the LLS, which is the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and we want to do something that's for someone else. So yeah, we're starting our clothing line. There's been a lot of buzz. We're all over social media. We're trying to generate some revenue so we can give back to funding cancer research, and we want to give it back to the fighters. It's important because you guys know that the up and coming fighters don't have a lot of money. They're not making a lot of money, especially in MMA starting out. I've got a lot of pro fighters that I manage that are making $400 a show, $400 to win, 12, 15-week training camp. They probably spend more than that, so it feels really, really good to give back.
Yeah, because guys like Jorge Valjaras, who was on the show, he was telling us how he just sold his car to help pay for an apartment to live in. That's just so he could train all the time. So being able to support even the up-and-comers, that's a really, really good thing to do.
It's something that we really feel in our heart that we need to be doing. And the one thing about what me and Josh do, we are a company that's not so serious. We're not, I own a couple other businesses, and I'm a suit and tie guy during the day, and I'm on the mat at night. But this company's based on the premise of having a good time. We're not so serious. That's why you'll see me and Josh doing goofy videos on airplanes and on the beach and at the World. And we have a very, very good time in the process. That's what it's based upon.
Good. Yeah, a lot of people, that's something I've seen in not just jiu-jitsu tournaments, but it might not be as big, but just it seems to be some divisions are being treated like it's the tryouts for the Ultimate Fighter, that people are taking themselves a little too seriously at these tournaments. There needs to just be, you need to cut up a little bit. I agree with that.
And yeah, I very much see that. I compete at purple belt adult, and I know that there are a lot of guys that, like you said, they treat this like it's everything, and, for me, I do win some tournaments, and, I lose, but I've never ever gone to a tournament and been like, man, I didn't have a good time, because I just treat jiu-jitsu like, for me, jiu-jitsu's already saved my life. You know what I mean? It's not like, man, if I become a world champion at black belt, then I will have made it. No, jiu-jitsu's already done enough for me. You know what I mean? And so, for me, and I know for Adam too, it's kind of our way to give back to the sport, and the best way to give back to the sport is growing it, and you're not going to grow a sport by making it more serious. You're not going to grow a sport by making people feel like, oh man, you have to win, or that's where your worth comes from. No, your worth comes from, your worth comes from how you act. Your worth comes from, how many people you can help. And, so like for us, that's what we want to do. We just want to grow. We want to help the sport. The best way to help the sport is get more people into it, grow this sport, and just keep it fun. We just and that's what the first conversation we ever had about this business was. Adam, people get in arguments about business all the time. Let's not do that. Let's have a good time with this. And that's it's not like we're two guys that did jiu-jitsu and we're like, oh man, let's do business together. No, we were two best friends, and we're like, man, this people like this head nod thing. People think it's fun, let's use it to help people. Let's use this to grow the sport. Let's use this to make this big.
Yeah, you're keeping it within the realms of approachability, because there seems to be a lot of companies maybe that feel like they aren't approachable, or the people in it aren't approachable. And that really does kill the mood. Good example are NBA players, I'd say. They sponsored by these giant companies, whatnot, but I feel like if I wanted to reach out and talk to them just on the street, it's kind of hard to approach these guys. But if you're having fun and you're including your customers and the base you're reaching out to, that's what really makes the difference. And that's what, like you said, it keeps it fun for everybody and keeps those people involved in it.
Yeah, and
we're super accessible. Yeah, we're super accessible. Yeah. We return every call. We return emails. You get a hold of us on Instagram. We respond. You're going to see us at all the big tournaments. We'll be at Pans in a few weeks. We're going to be around talking to people. We've got some free stuff we're going to be giving out. We're actually going to be doing a pretty cool limited edition Head Nod Squad Flux gi that we're going to do a giveaway. So we're going to be giving a lot of information out at Pans for that event, which is going to be real cool.
That is really cool, actually. And I mean, the only other company you kind of hear about doing that is Show Your Roll, but I guess that kind of goes in with the whole approachability thing. Very rare, very great gis, great team they're supported and stuff, but it's good to see stuff like that where they bring people into some sort of interactivity, as well as what you guys are doing. So,
yeah, and that's with us. We both kind of already have so a kind of an Instagram following. That's just something fun that we've done is trying to get people to follow us on Instagram. We have business cards that say add me on Instagram. We just hand out to people and stuff and just do stuff. And when we had that kind of market, we're like, you know what? Let's not make the Head Nod Squad separate from us. And let's not just make the Head Nod Squad only about Josh and Adam. Let's make it, about everybody that's in it. Let's sponsor guys. Even if, there are going to be times that people can't, you're a new blue belt. You're not going to get sponsored financially maybe, but we can still send you things. We can still give you some good deals on stuff just because we just want to help out. We just want to make it we call it the Head Nod Squad because it's a team, and my gym is actually Head Nod Squad headquarters, the gym that we just, Head Nod Squad HQ, the gym we just opened up. So it's people are welcome here. We just want to open up, this and really grow, American jiu-jitsu or just jiu-jitsu in general,
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. That's awesome. So you don't do just straight jiu-jitsu videos, and you just try to make it as fun as possible, right?
Yes, exactly.
Nice, very cool. So was it hard in the beginning to gain this following, or is it just people kind of stumbled upon it as far as this Head Nod Squad going?
Well, I mean, when we started doing these goofy videos, and you throw a couple funny little hashtags, on the Instagram, it's amazing the people that catch on and follow you. We've just for instance, if you go to mine and Josh's Instagram account, we've got just a couple little funny little videos we're doing on the way to the airport, and it's amazing the amount of hits and likes and comments that we get. So it started with Josh and I having 3 or 4 or 5,000 followers, and it went to 10, then to 20, and now we're approaching 30,000. We've just got thousands of people that are constantly following and liking and wanting to know more. It's starting to, I don't want to say it's spiraling out of control, but it's starting to get a little bit overwhelming. Me and Josh have brought on a silent partner. We've hired graphic designers. We've got a full-fledged business in the works. Our website, we've got web designers hired. Next week our website should go up live. There is some work involved. It is fun. We're having a great time with it. And me and Josh also have other businesses, so this thing's starting to take off.
So you guys, I know Jonathan showed a hoodie, Jonathan showed a t-shirt. So this gear, was a gear originally part of the idea, or were you guys just going to try to keep it to like shirts, hoodies, and then just sponsoring people?
Well, we're going to definitely design some geese. We have a connection with Flux, and they send us some gear, and we're going to kind of do a few things with them in the next couple of months where we're going to, use their gi, and we're going to patch it, stitch it up, and we're going to do some giveaways. But we're going to start mainly with, your t-shirts, your hoodies, your board shorts, your yoga pants, swimwear. We're going to have a full-fledged apparel line. You're going to be able to buy flip-flops. You name it, we're going to be able to offer it. We're not going to try to go out and compete with, Show Your All and some of these, these huge gi companies. But, we will definitely be designing some gis and have those for sale.
That's outstanding. Like, it's kind of, it seems almost like, like that scary area, but like that good scary area. Or like, oh shit, we're actually going to do this. Oh my God. Like, the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show doesn't exactly have a giant clothing line. We have a white shirt and a black shirt, but still I remember sitting there ordering them and I'm like, fuck, I'm spending money for t-shirts. This is awesome.
we kind of had that, that talk too. Like, man, we should make t-shirts. Do you think anybody's going to buy them? I don't know. And so we, like, Adam posted, I didn't even get to post on Facebook. He posted on Facebook, hey guys, we're doing Head Nod Squad shirts. I ordered this many. They were sold before I could even share the post. And we're like, wait a second. People really do follow this. My people that like me to hater ratio is probably 1 to 1. But nice. Even the haters buy the shirts. They're like, oh, these are cool.
Gotta have the haters. Gotta have the haters.
You can do
and we are open to finding some more haters if anyone listening is out there. We are very we can be pretty hateable. So just make sure you keep it for us.
Oh, there are plenty of haters that listen to this show still. I still get strongly worded emails occasionally about the professionalism or things we talk about on the show. So. But just if you don't get that, then you're not doing something. Like
exactly,
nobody gives a shit then.
Correct.
Yeah, like like it is kind of a pet peeve. Like you see these kids, some of them are like, "Oh, I love my haters," but they're fucking going nowhere. They're not like they're making bad choices. All those like only my haters. My haters judge me and shit. Like not. Dude, you've been arrested 3 times in the past week for like robbing bank or something crazy.
Yeah,
like
your
that.
At can't be police officers, man. Come on.
But I mean, like legitimate ones. They're like, oh, I don't like this because your opinion's wrong. I'm like, whatever, man. At least I can stand up for the opinion. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's I always joke about having haters, and I'm sure that we probably have a few. One of the guys at our gym always messes with us, and he says he's going to make the anti-Head Nod Squad. And they're just gonna try to fight Head Nod Squad guys at tournaments and beat them. But it just is a joke. It's just fun, like to know that people notice whether they like it or not. People see that, and so I always tell them, like, hey, if you have anything negative to say, make sure to post about it on Facebook and tag me. So then it can just grow my popularity more.
Absolutely. I mean, like, that's what I was kind of hoping for. There was one major one. I'm not going to give them any names because, like you said, I'm not going to post up their name. But I was kind of hoping, I'm like, please just write a fucking article about how much you hate us. Just drive up the podcast downloads. But whatever. It'll happen eventually. So how many guys do you have, guys or girls, do you have in the Head Nod squad currently that you guys are supporting, sponsoring, giving gear to, like in your stable of fighters? I guess is the best way to put it.
We're keeping it well. Josh and my other partner kind of had a talk with me because I like to spend money. I started getting sponsor happy, and well, you know, as far as the local, we wanted to keep it local Midwest to start out. You know, Kyle Watson, he gave me my purple belt. He's got his purple. Josh gave Josh his purple belt. He's our mentor. He's our leader. You know, of course, Kyle Watson is our first sponsored black belt, along with Ezra Lennon. Ezra Lennon's an amazing human being. He's an awesome guy. So those are the two local black belts. So we've got several professional mixed martial arts fighters in the St. Louis area. I would say on the roster, paid sponsored athletes, we've probably got 15. You know, we've got 15
that's not
sponsored
bad.
athletes.
And then under that, you know, we have quite a few too, just under non-paid, just sponsored through, you know, us just trying to help out because we do manage fighters and stuff. Us just trying to help out is a lot more, you know, like we had to have, wrong. I wasn't being stingy. We weren't having to talk with Adam to stop sponsoring people so much, like, because he was just sponsoring some local fighters. He's like, Josh, I just sponsored your dog because she has a lot of followers on Instagram. I'm like, no, she doesn't even do jiu-jitsu. She gets guillotined so easily. You know what I mean? Like, nobody ever shows up in her weight class of 9 pounds. So, like, come on, man. You got let's calm it down just a little bit for right now.
We want to take care of, you know, that's the thing with me. My heart's really big. And, you know, the guys, like, there's a crew out of Mount Vernon, like the Pedigo guy. You know, Pedigo is just an awesome dude. And, you know, we sponsor Andrew Wiltsey and Chad Hawkins. And, you know, so we're going to continue to sponsor those guys. And then, you know, we've got Aaron Heifel, great pro MMA fighter, Adam Osmo, up-and-coming stud. You know, we've got, you know, a couple of core professionals that we sponsor. But like Josh just said, we've got several others that we're giving gear to and guidance and leadership. And we're helping those folks out. But, yeah, I had that talk about I had to slow down on writing checks. Just for a little bit. We need to generate some revenue before I keep writing all these checks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's such a hard part to do, too, where I was like, yeah, like, I want to be like, oh, hey, let's give a shirt here, shirt here, shirt here. I'm like, shit, man, I'm running out of shirts. Can't buy more shirts. But, no, like, in that, you guys are doing more than just, like, giving people gear. Like you said, you're giving them mentor.
We're paying flights. We're sending people out to California. We're sending people out to Abu Dhabi Pro Trials. I mean, when I say we're actually sponsoring. We're not, and that's the thing too. We're helping folks get to where they need to be and helping pay for travel expenses, things of that nature. Because the reality is these guys can't do it. You know, some of these guys can't do it without being sponsored. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's also the mentorship that you were talking about. So, like, as far as the mentorship goes, like, what type of guidance are you giving people besides just, like, managing?
Well,
generally, go ahead. I was just going to say, I'm going to choke you.
I can't see Josh right now because I'm driving. Josh, go ahead, buddy.
Okay. How about, hey, Adam, is it okay if I go now?
Yes, sweetheart.
You know, if you guys are in business with one of your best friends, you do argue like a married couple, though. You know, if you guys notice that, you know, we will go back and forth. But anyway, can you repeat the question?
Yes, I was asking if you guys said you do like mentorship, not just like management, but like mentoring these fighters and competitors. What type of guidance are you giving these guys and girls?
Man, well, one of the big things is, you know, like we do jiu-jitsu, you know, and you know, in our minds, we both like to think that we're pretty decent. So, like, especially for the MMA guys, you know, a lot of you know, the newer MMA guys, they do have some, you sometimes you lack jiu-jitsu. You do see it in MMA a lot. You know, obviously there are guys that have really freaking good jiu-jitsu in MMA, but, you know, every fight starts standing. So a lot of guys say, well, I don't really see the point, you know, so you like, I'm just going to, have good wrestling, but sometimes you get put on your back. Sometimes, so for them, that's one big thing is we've just been training with guys, like that's something, I do seminars and stuff like that. And, not for our sponsor athletes, just for people in general, but it's kind of always under the Head Nod Squad banner. And we just really have been trying to help in any way we can. And with fighters, we do more manage fighters, trying to get them other sponsorships. Try to get them other people, try to get them fights and things like that, of that nature.
Damn, that's a hell of a...
Yeah, and the thing too,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
With mentoring too, I've been managing, I own 2 promotion companies. I promoted professional mixed martial arts in the state of Illinois. I did it for 8 years. And so I had managed and amateur and pro fighters for a very long time. And a lot of these guys are just lacking guidance. They don't have any financial stability. I mean, some of these guys can't, I'm not going to name any names, but some of these guys can't balance a checkbook. Some of these guys, you got to remind them on how to post things on social media, how to act, how to conduct yourself. Because once you turn pro, you need to act as a pro. And, I'm that guy that I bring people in my office, I sit them down, I show them how to use social media, I teach them and kind of just guide them. And I want these guys overall, anybody that me and Josh is going to sponsor, anybody that we sponsor, you got to have a good character. If we go to your Facebook page and we see you posting just downright awful things, and I don't mind y'all cussing, things like that, but if you're downright do not have a good character, we're not interested in supporting you. And that's what I do with some of these guys. I try to help and guide and just teach these guys on what to post, what not to post, how to post, and just try to help them. My door is always open and my phone is always on. So, if somebody needs something, whether it's a ride or they need gas in their car, or they need to cross-train. Because here in Wood River, one of the gyms I support big is the War Room out of Wood River. And they've got a stable of good fighters, but over the years, we've needed to cross-train. So, we've sent guys over to St. Charles MMA, over to Watson's, and I help, orchestrate some of the cross-training and things of that nature. That's kind of what I've done as far as helping my guys, my younger guys, into their pro careers.
So that isn't very typical of most managers, it feels like, usually they're just, here, I'm going to find you a fight, and then just call it a day. And maybe help look for sponsorship, but now you're teaching them, just the whole package of how to be that professional fighter.
Well, and you look at the... Go ahead.
No, just say just how to be a pro. It's all about being a professional. I mean, once you're a pro, you need to act, talk, walk as a pro.
And you look at the guys in the UFC right now that are making the big money. Not that they're not great fighters, but maybe they're not even the best. The big money fighters don't have to be the best fighters. I don't not even want to name any names of anybody, but you just see some guys that in the MMA scene that this guy is really not that great, or this guy used to be good, but they have personality. They branded themselves well. They become a household name, and that's what we try to get guys to do. Because if you're honest, there is athletic potential. There are some guys that you could put in any sport and they would be Division I. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter. But then there are some guys that are going to be hard workers, and they're going to train. They're going to do everything you say. And, maybe they're not going to be a UFC champion, but they're still going to work hard and they're still going to fight. So, why not brand yourself? Why not give yourself a good name? Because, yes, you want to be the best. That's huge. But you are getting paid for fighting, just from an MMA standpoint. And from jiu-jitsu too. You have guys that are really good at jiu-jitsu that have no personality, and people don't really care to learn from them.
Oh my God, yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. And so you get some guys in that are, that have this personality. That's why people like me, being a purple belt, I get asked to do privates. I get asked to do seminars. I will never say, oh yeah, I'm the best in the world, or I'm even the best purple belt in the world. But I branded myself well, and I really do. I work hard, and I really do, try to give that personality. I don't want people to ever say, that Josh Mckinney guy, he was a jerk to me. He was rude. He was, disrespectful, anything like that. Whether, in any situation, I always try to, be upstanding and be, have that persona. And we try to push that on our guys too. Hey, get on social media, really broadcast the good about yourself, and really, that's how you're going to get noticed. You're not going to get, don't get me wrong. There are guys that are just superhuman, that can win anything. It just doesn't matter. And they're going to get noticed eventually anyway. But, you get guys like Conor McGregor, who's an excellent fighter, and he branded himself. Where did, 2 years ago, who knew Conor McGregor? And all of a sudden he's the highest paid, one of the highest paid MMA fighters that there is. And that comes from that branding. And maybe he went about it a little aggressively, but he's still branded, and he still sold himself that way,
And it absolutely worked for him. I mean, look, like you said, he's one of the biggest names, one of the highest earners, and he's backed up everything he said too. So,
say a year from now he loses, and so people are like, "Oh man, he wasn't as good as he said he was," but he got in and he got out, and that's kind of MMA, especially with some of the research you're seeing with head injuries and stuff like that. I mean, it's not something you want to do for 20 years. You don't want to be fighting for that long. You want to get in, protect, nothing. I remember, thinking about, talking to my dad about going into MMA when I was younger, and he's like, he goes, honestly, he's like, I just don't know. He goes, when you're 18, he goes, you can make that decision, but he goes, I just think that, nothing is more important than your brain. And, as I've progressed and I've seen, people like, and seeing some of the studies of recently of those, if you guys have watched the movie Concussion, and you see some of that stuff, you're like, you know what, maybe it's not for long term. You fight MMA for 20 years and especially you're not making money. It's just not worth it. So you do have to brand yourself, get in. And I personally think you should get in and go as long as you can, as hard as you can, and then get out.
No, I agree with that completely, mainly because, let's look at Ken Shamrock. That guy, warrior through and through, but he's had some battles in the past, 20, 30 years almost now, just taking it to it. And unfortunately, it seems almost like it is starting to affect him a little bit. I remember telling my mom I wanted to start doing Muay Thai, and she's like, well, what is that? And I told her, and here's this little Italian woman sitting at the kitchen table giving me the guilt trip, asking me if I want to end up like Muhammad Ali, not being able to. I'm like, Mom, it's not going to be like that. And I mean, so far so good, but at the same time, that's what you're saying. It's kind of scary if you stay in the game long enough like that. Who knows? There hasn't been enough studies on MMA specifically, but some of those knockouts look like they're gonna take a toll at some point.
Yeah.
My mother cried my first MMA fight. She stayed at home and cried and kept calling my dad while I was at the venue, begging me not to do it. It was horrible to have to know the pain she was going through. And I just had to explain to her, it's like, Mom, I mean, I'm going to be in this sport forever. This is what I do. But it's crazy thinking about it going back then. But my mother literally tried everything she could to get me not to fight.
But I mean, she can't.
And I never,
go ahead. Sorry.
I never discourage guys from trying to fight, but you just get to that point where, these guys, for my coach Kyle, he made it, he made it to the UFC, he made it on the Ultimate Fighter, and he did what his goals were. And, at that point he had a few fights after the UFC, and it was kind of like, you know what? I think he made a really good decision. He said, I think it's kind of time to hang it up. And I know he still does have that itch. I know he still would like to try, but as him being one of my best friends, I was like, man, I would not support that. I would rather that not happen, just cause as you get older, your brain becomes even more sensitive to that stuff. And it's just nothing is more important than your brain. You can break my arm and it'll heal and it'll hurt when I get older, or, my ankle, or even my knee. But, the brain we just know so little about it. A lot of times it doesn't heal in the way that other things heal. And it's not just pain. It changes, who you are. And I just don't, so that's just, I just don't so that's something we do is we try to get these guys in do as much as they can, to learn as much as they can, to make as much as they can, and then they can open their own school and they can help other people, you know?
Yeah, so just an evolution of students at that point and fighters.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
So what do you think the solution is then for a lot of this besides in and out? Is there anything that can be done on the professional side of the house, like the athletic commissions or the professional organizations, to help mitigate these head injuries that we could be seeing coming up here pretty soon?
Man, something I was reading, I don't know if you guys, what's the guy's name? He just fought Johnny Hendricks, the Wonder Boy.
He's a stud. I forgot his name.
Yeah. He's a killer, and he was, I wish I could know his name. I just can't name it off the top of my head. But there's an article on him, and he was talking about how the live sparring that he doesn't do as much contact as most guys. And he was talking about saving his chin, and I really liked, because it's not just the knockouts, the concussions that people get in their fight, because you get knocked out, that's one time, but if you're in the gym and you're getting these they're almost like sub concussions, pre-concussions basically. And they were saying, with NFL linemen that it was happening to them a lot because they were using their heads so much. And some were having upwards of what they would estimate like 70,000 of these sub concussions. And so, you see that and you're like, man, how do we kind of, make that a little less, and maybe, I really liked how he was talking about the less, live sparring. He spars, but with technique, doesn't get hit in the head as much in practice. And, he claims also that keeps your chin strong, you not getting hit so much. He says your chin gets weak, as you get that damage to your head all the time. And that's why guys get knocked out easier. And, he didn't have any scientific evidence to back it. So I'm not going to say, oh, that's the way to go. But, it sounded solid and, maybe save your brain a little bit for when you actually fight,
Yeah, I've heard that there's only a certain amount of punches you can take as a fighter, and that if you're going to spend them all in training, that you're not going to have them for the fight when it comes to it. Which, yeah, is bad because you need those, I'd suppose. But good. So I know we've talked about your the MMA and jiu-jitsu side of the house. Let's talk about the charity side that you're talking about, like giving back to cancer research. I'm really interested in hearing about that as well.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we've been thinking exactly which charities we want to support. I like supporting LLS. I've lost some friends to leukemia and lymphoma, blood cancers. Also got a soft spot for kids, children with cancer. I got a friend out on the West Coast named Adam Nadow who owns a company called Cancer Fighters. We're probably going to team up with him a little bit and raise some money for his organization out there. And I think mainly a lot of the money is going to go to LLS, Team and Training. It's a chapter that's just dedicated to basically just blood cancer. And I've been passionate about that for years. I lost a friend that I grew up with to it, and my wife runs marathons, and she raises all of her money that she raises goes directly towards LLS. But we don't want to handcuff it just cancer research. We're open-minded. As we grow, as we get bigger, as we have more revenue, we're going to be able to support multiple things. So right now, starting out of the gate, it's going to be LLS and Cancer Fighters out on the West Coast. We're going to help support those guys. But in the future, we're going to do as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, and that's we talked about this. So let's not handcuff ourselves because if you choose that one company, we have no control over that company, and you never know when you try to just support one company when oh man, the CEO is doing something shady or something like that. So we just didn't want to handcuff ourselves to to be one thing because we don't have any control over it. And we had talked about let's just do the LLS, but let's not handcuff ourselves, but let's let people know this, that it is the percentage that we tell you is going to help fund cancer research is going to help fund cancer research. It's not going to help fund somebody, getting a new pool that supports cancer research. No, it is going to fund cancer research. And that is our goal. And we will do everything in our power to make sure of that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk of charities who are like, yeah, we don't really fund the supporting of cancer. We fund Wounded Warrior, unfortunately. Their big thing was we don't fund specifically Wounded Warriors. We fund the, the education of the presence of Wounded Warriors. That's kind of a douchebag move, in my opinion. But
exactly, we don't want. That's why. Yeah.
And some of these CEOs of these companies, are making $800,000 a year, and they freaking have private jets. And we want to make sure that the money that we raise goes to the fund itself. So I know, say we raise in Q2 this year, maybe we raise $25,000, and we call my friend Adam on the West Coast. I stroke him a check for $25,000. He's going to be able to show me exactly where every nickel's going. I'm going to be able to control it, and that's important for us because we want to make sure the money's appropriated properly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's why we're not going to limit ourselves to exactly just one charity. But and that's the thing too. The key to this, this Head Nod Squad is, obviously we want jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts are our two niche markets. That's what we have passion for. That's what we're involved in. But with these, we feel good when we design a shirt. When somebody buys that shirt, not only are they going to have a pretty freaking awesome shirt, but a portion of that proceeds is going straight to funding cancer research. So the consumer's got to feel good about that, and that makes us feel good. So that's the whole thing behind this. It's not just about making money. It's about giving back. That's the main purpose of this whole thing.
No, that's amazing, and I'm really glad there's a company out there that's really stepping up to do that. And I've seen certain groups do occasional, charity fundraisers, but I'm glad that's something that's kind of a main mission of what you guys are doing as well. So that's outstanding. So now I really do have to know. Let's talk about the Porsche.
I'm driving it right now. I'm in it right now.
So is the Porsche a main figure of Head Nod Squad, or is that like the Head Nod Squad mobile, or is it like a sponsored fighter of Head Nod Squad? Like what exactly we got with the Porsche?
Okay. So the Porsche I bought for myself, I've over the last, I would say decade, I've been pretty successful with a couple of my businesses, and I sold my Z06 Corvette 8 years ago, and I've always wanted another sports car. My wife's like, Adam, you work so hard, just buy it. And my dealer group that I work for, they give me a car, so I haven't had a car payment freaking 10 years,
Nice.
So it's like I've always wanted to buy another car, but I just didn't want to spend the money, So finally, my wife's like, just do it, Adam. You freaking work your butt off. Go buy. What do you want? And ultimately, I always wanted a Porsche 911. I always wanted a white Porsche 911. That's just what I've always wanted. So finally, I said, screw it. I'm going to buy it. I bought it. And this is at the time where me and Josh had already talked a little bit more about, the Head Nod Squad. And we knew we were forming this company. So that's why I ordered the vanity plates Head Nod. So you got every now and then you will do a video with the Porsche. But yeah, I'm in my Porsche right now, and the license plates just say Head Nod. And, sometimes I'll pull up a stoplight, I turn over, and people are giving me a head nod. So it's fun, and I love driving this thing. It's incredible.
Amazing. So do you let Josh drive it at all?
He is welcome to drive it. I don't think he can drive a stick, though. Am I right, Josh?
Josh can barely drive an automatic. Come on. I wouldn't feel comfortable driving it.
Yeah. But I'm pretty cool with people driving my car. As long as, they know how to, one of my best friends, has had it faster than, he's driven it harder than I have. My friend Lance took it on the Great River Road in Grafton, which is just outside of Alton. It's a long stretch of highway, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and I've had it, this is day 3, I've had it maybe to 130, 140, and, I look over, we're going like 170, and I'm in the passenger side, and when you're not in control and you're in the passenger seat, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
So I kept telling him, like, Lance, slow down. I made him pull over and get out. I took over. Yeah, I haven't even had it. He's had it faster than I've had it.
Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with Grafton, the Great River Road, that the speed limit apparently is 180 there because they weren't breaking the law. We definitely didn't admit to that, did we, Adam? Come on.
Sorry, Joshy. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, pretty sure that's in Mexico or something where the, jurisdiction, doesn't carry over in the States, I think. Is that right? It's in Mexico somewhere?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. It's actually a road that we built. It's actually, he meant it was Head Nod Road.
Okay.
There is no speed limit. Yeah.
It's Head Nod Lane, Josh. Head Nod Lane.
Oh, sorry. We changed. There was a big debate. Head Nod Road was already trademarked. It's in Taiwan, and we just decided to go with Head Nod Lane.
So traveling, I know you guys do it as well. So where's your favorite place to travel? And since it's big jiu-jitsu, we like to eat here. Where's your favorite place to eat when you guys go out to travel?
This is easy.
That's tough. That's tough for me, though.
Really?
I like Southern California. My favorite place to travel, my favorite place in the world is Maui, Hawaii. But with the Head Nod squad, Southern Cali. I mean, on the mainland, in the States, there's nothing better than Southern Cali, and there's nothing better than acai, a nice acai bowl in Southern California. And I'm sure Josh would agree with that.
No, mine's actually different, man. I thought you were going to go another way. Honestly, we did the Dallas Open this year, and we have never had a worse tournament experience. It was absolutely terrible.
Really?
Three of us went down. The three members of the Head Nod squad. I lost what in my mind was a pretty dominant match on my side, and the ref did not agree. Then another one, the other guy that went with us, he dominated his first guy, was dominating his second guy, and in a scramble, the guy tried to jump guard and ended up landing awkwardly on his knee and hurt Trevor, our one of the first Head Nod squad sponsored athletes' knees. And so then we're both out, and then Adam had a really tough match, or guy was just kind of beast strong, and so we all lose. Like, okay, this sucked. This trip has been a dud. Well, we're staying at this really nice hotel in downtown Dallas, and we just got to hang out and just kind of it sounds stupid, but one thing that's really cool about Dallas, which is the architecture, was just different. I really liked, it's obviously it's a very growing city, and a very growing state, but it was just really cool, like, to get to see some of that. But, when it comes to food, there's no place better than going to Fred's in Huntington Beach.
Oh yeah.
They have this carne asada burrito. We go there, after competing. You do Pans, Worlds, whatever. You go there after competing, and you're sitting on the second level, looking over the balcony, looking right at the ocean. The sun's beating down. It's just a perfect combination. Man, I can't believe you just reminded me of that. We got to be making weight for this tournament. And you guys are talking about food here. It's just that carne asada burrito with the beach, the ocean air, the sun hitting you. There's no better place to eat than that.
Love it. Southern Cali, baby. The Mexican food in Southern Cali is the best.
Yeah, when I was out there, the food was really, really, really good. Like, we're also staying in a Motel 6 out there in Long Beach, like a walk away from the pyramid. So if that gives you any idea, probably how high scale our living arrangements were. But the food out there was great, and I had a great time. But Fred's, definitely have to check that out next time I'm in town.
Got to check it out. Fred's is incredible. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I know my brother and Sean and hopefully Kyle are listening to this, so we're going to need to all do another road trip out there and eat there again. Do you guys ever Do you guys ever go to Europeans at all?
I haven't yet. I wanted to go last year. I couldn't go, but that'll definitely that'll be something to hit for sure. I'd love to do European.
Well, good. That's my plan for this year, is the next time it comes around is to go to it. It's only a couple countries over, so it'll make life a little easier on me to travel out there and see it. But
I was going to say, we talked about it, and it was just kind of like last year. For me, I competed 11 times, including like super fights and stuff. it was just really hard on my body. It's just, running businesses and then competing that much. I was just like, you know what? I can't add another one. I can't do something else, especially with the travel and whatever. So, we just kind of skipped Europeans, the last time, but, maybe next time.
Hell yeah. All right. Before we go, who do you want to give a shout out to before we say Head Nod Squad? Because we're going to talk about that right at the end of the show as well. So, Head Nod Squad as well. Who else do you want to give shout outs to?
Man, we don't really like anybody else. We're pretty exclusive with just, it's just pretty much, it's just me and Adam against the world. No, we definitely want to give shout outs to both of our Instagrams. If you guys like jujitsu, you like, mine, honestly, I'll be completely honest with you guys. There's some jujitsu pictures, but mine's just funny. I don't do it. I don't push as much jujitsu. I just kind of push my life, and push funny stuff. I'm at the Josh Mckinney, and Adam is at Adam Marbuger, and we, you guys can keep up with all our shenanigans, especially like when we go on trips. If you add me on Snapchat, the name is the same, the Josh McKinney. You will see just our crazy, all of our funny head nod videos that we do, and just what we're up to. Way more fun to follow us around times like when we go to Pans. It's going to be a ton of fun. We have a beach house that we have with a bunch of Head Nod Squad sponsored athletes, and we are just going to all have a really good time and hopefully all bring home some gold.
Hell yeah.
That's the plan. Gold is the plan.
That should be the plan. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to get my ass beat and head home. And it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I love silver, because you made it, and then you lose, So you're on that high. You're like, all I got to do is this, and then oh man, I lost. It's just and then it gives you something to work for, Yeah,
and it's a really good compliment to give somebody. Like, you're my silver medal. Oh yeah, like silver's great. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry, but I was going to say I agree with Josh that here whenever as far as keeping up with us and what we're doing Instagram, and we do some stuff on Facebook, but definitely Instagram. You can we post daily, and it's Josh is a very creative young man, and we do some really funny stuff, and we promise not to disappoint if you follow us on Instagram. We promise that. So.
Well, dang, I guess I'm gonna have to follow you all then. What a shame.
Yes, again, that is the Josh McKinney. If you don't know, that's the Josh McKinney and Adam Marbuger. It is simpler than mine.
Adam Marbuger and the Josh McKinney.
The Josh McKinney, yes, sir.
M-A-R-B-U-R-D-E-R.
Where can the listeners find Head Nod Squad then? Just the two Instagrams or what?
We have Head Nod Squad does have an Instagram. It is headnod_squad. We're actually trying to work on getting that changed to just Head Nod Squad. Then our site should be up, headnodsquad.com or theheadnodsquad.com. Should be up hopefully within a week.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh, no, on Tuesday. Okay. There's more communication on Adam's side.
Nice.
Yeah, we're talking about having it done and up. Our content's been added. We got our graphic designing on it right now, and you'll be able to keep up with everything we're doing on that website too. We'll have a lot of pictures and videos of fights, past all of our tournaments. I mean, you'll be able to see everything we do, and then you'll be able to see all the sponsored athletes too. You'll be able to click a tab and see who we're sponsoring, all their bios, all their achievements, all that stuff. So it's going to be very user friendly, and you'll be able to shop from there too. You'll be able to click a tab and be able to purchase, you name it, you'll be able to buy it. So.
Yeah, I think I'll be doing that. Buying a Head Nod Squad T-shirt, rocking it out here. Always.
Yeah, if anyone's wanting to get a Head Nod Squad tattoo, we are in full support of that. I'll give you a shout out on Instagram if you do so.
That would be pretty legit. That's how you know you got real fans, is when they get a tattoo of it.
Oh yeah. And if anyone wants to get a Head Nod Squad face tattoo, like get one on their face, I will give you $7. 100%, $7, maybe even $8. I don't know.
Wow.
It just depends on how charitable I'm feeling that day. But you will have some coin in your pocket. It's going to be all pennies, but it's going to be $7.
Just don't fall in a pool. You'll be fine.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to throw them at you, so you're going to have to pick them all up, which may deter some people. But the head nod squat face tattoo is the way to go. We're our fingers are crossed that someone will have one soon.
Well, that many Instagram followers, I think it's bound to happen at some point. Somebody's going to listen to this and be like, I need to get recognized, and I really, really, really could use $8. So,
and that's the thing is, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna, I may write a check, so you may have to claim it. So I don't know. Still debating on how that's going to work, how we're going to do it financially with the $7 to $8 that I may give for the face tattoo.
I'll say Western Union's always a good option, but
yeah, and that's not a bad idea. We've had many talks about that. We're still in debate, but don't worry, there will be $7 in your bank account by the end of the day that you get the face tattoo.
Wow, that is very generous. I agree.
Yes, and that's like I said, we're about helping people. We're about helping people.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, this has been a really awesome podcast. I know Jonathan had to duck out early. He's a ninja. Nobody even noticed he left.
I know. I was looking to start bullying him a little more, and then all of a sudden, he's gone.
Yeah, it popped up on my Skype. I'm like, oh, he's gone. And then I get my phone goes off. It's like, hey, I had to leave. I was like, oh, yeah, no worries. He had to teach, so no big deal. But
how dare he have anything other to do?
Seriously.
That's ridiculous.
It's like people
what a jerk.
People have lives. Like you would think I do this 7 days a week. I know it's crazy, but I really don't.
How dare anyone have a life outside of jiu-jitsu? You know what I mean? In general, how dare they?
Yeah.
It's people are so selfish.
They are. Like eating, living somewhere, overrated, man. I don't need that shit.
You're right. Man, we're on the same wavelength.
Good. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. I'd like to thank Adam and Josh for coming on the show today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's been fun. Thank you very much.
Anytime. So don't forget to go to bigjujitsu.com, pick up a t-shirt, pick up a patch, pick up 3 t-shirts. I don't care. Just pick up something. Go to Amazon.com or go to the banner at the top of our page. Buy something from Amazon. Help us out. And then don't forget to go to podbros.com, our podcast network that we're a member of. Find another podcast you might be interested in and give them a listen. So I'm Rob the Lord Humongous, and we will catch you all next time.